What kind of tree fits in your hand? A palm tree. Palm, so this part of your hand is called palm, but there's actually a palm tree, and they grow in tropical areas, and they're huge though. But what tree fits in your hand? A palm tree. All right, guys, so another math lesson today. We're actually going to kind of be doing this virtually, interactive, kinesthetically. So what you're gonna need today, if you look at the website said that you are gonna need yourself, other people in your household, stuffed animals, random objects, your hands or your feet, and a pencil, and if you have it, a measuring tape. So we are just gonna begin to measure and compare. So let me go back to my video so I can see. Okay, so what you can do, we're gonna use the edge of a door, because if you're anything like my household, my fiance does not want me marking on the walls, and I totally agree with him. So we're gonna use a pencil, and we're gonna use the middle, like the edging, the inside of a door. So I'm gonna get my pencil, and I'm here by myself. You guys might have your parents or siblings with you. So I'm gonna set my computer right here by the door. So this is our back door. So what I'm saying is we are going to be using the inside of the door. Right here, you know, when it closes and then you can't see it anymore, that's what we're going to be using to measure, to mark, to put our markings. So what I'm going to do is I am actually going to stand right up against the door, and I'm going to have my pencil. So with the pencil, I have a bun in my hair, but maybe I'll stand to the side so that way I can mark it. So with the pencil, I'm gonna find the top of my head, similar to what we did with our penguins, measuring and comparing penguins. It's gonna be kind of like that lesson. So I've marked myself. If you can see that I've marked myself right there, right? All right, I'm gonna put a K for Kayla. And let's see, I'm going to measure now. I'm gonna measure with my hands. So before we add any more measuring, I'm gonna measure with my hands, because if you don't have a tape measure, obviously you don't know how tall you're gonna be. And not everybody has a tape measure at their house, or a ruler. All the rulers are at school. So fortunately, I do have a tape measure. So if you do, awesome, look at it, measure it. If not, use your hands. So what we're gonna do, let's see, I'll put this right here so you can kind of see. I'm gonna use my hands. Your hands are obviously different size than mine, but you can compare. You can see how many hands tall you are. So I'm gonna start at the bottom. I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You guys can't see it, and I can't really move the computer, but it's not quite 9 hands. There's about 9.5. So I'm about, for my hand size, I'm about 9.5. So half would be like that. 9.5 hands tall. So what you can do now is measure your parents. You can measure your siblings. If you don't have siblings, maybe you have an animal. If you don't have animals, maybe you have a stuffed animal. I have next to me, I have a beautiful hummingbird feeder that my mother got me. So I'm gonna measure the hummingbird feeder. So I'm going to come to the bottom, place it right here. From the highest point, I'm gonna mark it. All right, so as you can see, I've marked it. Kind of bright, so you can't really see it, but I've marked it right here because the highest point is to where the ball is. So I'm gonna measure with my hands. 1. So I'm gonna move it a little closer so you can see. Do you see the mark right there? Awesome. So take a look. My hand, it's not about 2 hands because it would be over 2 hands. It's about half a hand. If I were to put my fingers down, it'd be half a hand. So this hummingbird feeder is a 1.5 hands. So if you do have a measuring tape, you guys are fortunate enough to see how tall the measuring tape in my kitchen drawer. So on a measuring tape, it's kind of like a ruler. You guys can talk to your parents about this. I'll place a video about measuring as well. But you see that there's inches, 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch, 5 inch, 6 inch. So there's inches and then feet. If I continue to pull this, 12 inches over here equals 1 foot. If I go another 12 inches, 2 foot. If I go another 12 inches, 3 foot. Awesome. So if you would like, and you have a measuring tape or a ruler, that would work, you guys can see how tall you are. So it says I am 5'3" inches. So 63 inches or 5'3" inches. All right, so the next part of the lesson is comparing yourself. So if I was comparing myself to the hummingbird feeder, obviously who would be taller? I would, I know. So I can tell that though by my measurement. It's similar to our penguin lesson. Remember the penguins, how we measured everybody in the class and we drew names and we got to compare each other? So that's what you're gonna be doing today. So you're gonna measure yourself, measure a few more objects. So I'm gonna just compare myself to the hummingbird feeder. So I could say 9.5 hands compared to the hummingbird feeder, which was 1.5 hands. So which one's larger? The 9.5, right? So that's what you guys are gonna be doing. If you'd like to set it up like we did in the classroom and actually write the names of, like, say I would put my name and then I'd put the hummingbird feeder and I'd stick it in a hat and I would draw the two, you compare them to see which one's taller, who's smaller. So have fun today with measuring and comparing.